What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is Expanded Thursday, and today we are looking at a Virizion Genesect Ho-Oh deck, or better known as Spookysect in the community here. Now, last weekend there was an SPE, I think it's called a Special Premier Event Tournament. It's kind of like outside of a regionals that are held over in the UK and or I guess in Europe overall, but this one was actually held in France, and this is the deck that actually won. I'm trying to pronounce his name. I think it's Mehdi Hafi. I'm pretty sure I pronounced it wrong, but this is the deck he used to win the event. I'll tell you the games he played against. He actually posted it up online and told what games he played. He played against Vespiquen Flareon, beat it. Metal, beat it. Durant Puff, beat it. Gengar Trevenant, and he beat that, so he was 4-0. Then he double ID, which is intentionally drawing, so that way you don't have to play it out. You kind of just like, hey, do you want an ID? Your opponent says yes. You both make cut. And he did that twice and made it in there. In Top Cut, he played Durant, then a Dark Dot deck, and then an Archie Stoice deck. And yeah, it's a pretty interesting deck. We have seen this before. It did win regionals 2 years ago, a year ago, however you look at it. Jacob Van Wagner, our world champion right now, did win I think it was Oregon regionals with this deck. It was a little bit different here than this list. Of course, you know, it's been a couple years since then. But we'll go over this list right now. We'll see what happens. And a thing I decided to do this time around is I recorded 2 games against Archie Toys, and you can kind of see how the matches play out here. This deck does auto lose to Night March, and it auto loses to Vespiquen Flareon. And he said that the reason why he beat the Vespiquen Flareon is because they did not get set up, and that's how he won here. And the Archie Toys matchup seems pretty much the most interesting matchup for sure. Everything else pretty seems like straightforward, and I'll tell you how you can beat the rest of the decks here in a second. I'm moving my mic a little bit closer to me. Alright, so let's go over the deck here. You have Virizion here, Verdant Wind. If there's any grass energy attached to any Pokemon in play, they can be affected by special conditions on your side of the field. Airmail Slash 50, you may search the deck for 2 grass energies and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. And your main attacker here is going to be Genesect EX. It has the ability Red Signal, which you bring a Pokemon off the bench when you attach a Plasma Energy to it. So you can bring a Pokemon off the bench. It's kind of like a Light Center, but it's an ability. And then you do Mega Cannon 100 and does 20 to a bench Pokemon. But that's not what we're worried about here. We'll go over the real attack here with Genesect. Next up is Ho-Oh, and this is kind of your energy accelerator here besides the Virizion. It has the ability Rebirth. Once during your turn, before you attack, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may flip a coin. If heads, put this Pokemon onto your bench and attach 3 different types of basic energy cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon. So it is 3 different types, and you see this deck does play, Grass, Lightning, and Psychic energies. The only thing that concerns me is it only plays 1 Psychic energy, so if you have a prize, you only Rebirth for a Grass and a Lightning, but obviously, it worked for him, and you could use Rainbow Burn here. It does 20 and then 20 more damage for each different type of basic energy attached to this Pokemon. Next up, Shaman for consistency, set up to draw 6. And next up, we have Thundurus here. Rainy Knuckle for 30. You attach a energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Team Plaza Pokemon. And of course, this is actually going to help accelerate Genesect here. What you can do early game is you can start swinging with Thundurus instead of Virizion, because Virizion does need 2 energies, while Thundurus just needs 1. So you could start using Raiden Knuckle turn 1. You do play the 2 Lightning energies and a Professor Letter here, so you can Rebirth and maybe get the Lightning energy from a Ho-Oh onto a Thundurus. Maybe. It's also used for Evital. Let's see here. I'm not sure how great the math is, though, but with a Rated Knuckle, 30, 40, 50, 60, you can hit for 120 max. But I think what you want to do is Rated Knuckle with a Muscle Band to do 50. You start 2-shotting Evitals. And Evital, it's based on how many energies are attached to both the Pokemon, and since Thundurus just needs 1, you could start using that pretty easily. And also, you could use Thunder's Noise, which will one-shot a Evital EX. It just needs 2 Lightning and 2 DC. Seems pretty hard, but maybe it might be doable with energy switches and the Ho-Oh. And of course, Deoxys here. You do 2 more damage to your active Pokemon when you're attacking with the Plasma Pokemon. And then you have Helix Force, 30 damage. If this Pokemon has any Plasma energy to it, this attack does 30 more damage for each energy attached to the defending Pokemon. And that's all your Pokemon here. It's a lot of Pokemon for sure. No Jirachi. I guess he just relied on using Shaman. just help draw through your deck. I mean, you do play 4 Ultra Balls. Next up, for Battle Compressor, discard 3 cards from your deck. Of course, you want to discard the Ho-Ohs and the Energies, maybe Supporters for Reverse Seeker. Seems pretty cool. For Energy Switch, and this is kind of your main engine with Ho-Oh, you move a basic energy from one of your Pokemon to another your Pokemon. Of course, after your rebirth, you can energy switch up to Genesect, which is great. 1 Professor Letter, search for energies, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Via Seeker, 1 AZ, put 1 Pokemon into your hand, discard all cards attached to that Pokemon. Now, the cool thing about this is you could pick up like a damaged Genesect or maybe a damaged Virizion, put those grass energies in the discard pile, then you use Rebirth to get them back out, which is pretty nice. 2 Colors, 1 Lysander, 3 N, 4 Juniper, pretty much standard stuff so far. And it played 1 Shadow Triad, put a Team Plasma card from your discard pile into your hand. Of course, you can get back Plasma Pokemon, you can get back the Colress, you can get back G-Booster, you can get back Plasma Energy, a lot of different options you can get with Shadow Triad here. 1 Skyla, search deck for Trina card. Now, this is kind of interesting, because usually when you play Virizion and Genesect, you play like 3 to 4 Skylas, but we see just 1 here, and I guess, you know, which is a combination of Rebirthing and Shaman, and maybe you have multiple options to get the energies out and play. Maybe he just want to go like really fast and not have to Skyline just for 1 card. 2 Skyward Bridge, probably my favorite stadium ever printed. The retreat cost of each basic Pokemon to play is 1 less. But the majority of these Pokemon have 1 retreat cost. The Virizion has 1. The Genesect has 1. Ho-Oh has 2, Shaman has 1, I think Thunders has 1 as well, and Deoxys has 2 if I remember correctly. So now most of those Pokemon have a 0 retreat cost or just a 1 retreat cost, which is great with Skyward Bridge. 1 G-Booster, this card can only be used by Genesect, but that doesn't mean it can only be attached to Genesect. It can be attached to anybody, but you can only use it when it's attached to a Genesect here. You do 200 damage with G-Booster, you discard 2 energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack damage is affected by effects on the defending Pokemon. Now, it's great about, okay, hold on. The downside of G-Booster is you do have to discard 2 energies, but the great thing here is you do have Ho-Oh, so you can Rebirth, get those energies back into play, use energy switches since you play 4 of those, and you can continuously G-Booster over and over and over again, which is great here. After 3 G-Booster, you usually, like, win the game. And you play 3 Muscle Band here, so the Emerald Slash can do maybe 70. So the cool thing, well, if you don't know this with VG, if you're new to this kind of deck, you Emerald Slash for 70, and then you attach the energies to Genesect here, and then you get Megalo Cannon for 100. But with Deoxys, you do that 10 extra damage, which is 110, and now you're hitting for 180, which is a knockout of the majority of EX Pokemon in the game, or 170 if they just have 170 HP, which is why this combination is so great here. And if you're not able to pull that combo off, you can always just G-Booster. And the rest, 2 Plasma Energies for Red Signal, 7 Grass, 2 Lightning, and 1 Psychic Energy there. Pretty much covered a lot of the deck. Oh, I didn't cover this AZ as well. Another thing you could do is pick up Shaman to reuse setup, and you can pick up Ho-Oh, Ultra Ball it away again, use Rebirth for later. So that's a cool thing you do with AZ as well, as picking up your damaged Pokemon. But hopefully you enjoy these games. Once again, they are 2 Archie's Toys games. I know people are going to be like, why are you playing just against Archie's Toys? Well, against Seismitoad, you have Virizion Genesect, which is pretty much straightforward, can pretty much just win that game, unless they get really, really great flips on Crushing Hammers. Night March is an auto loss. I mean, maybe you can get lucky and they don't draw a supporter. Same thing with Flareon. You're just going to get overrun. There's nothing you can really do. Evital, you have Thundurus, and you have Genesect to easily knock out Evital. It's pretty much of an easy matchup. Donphan, you can just one-shot those with a Muscle Band and the Deoxys because they have 130 HP. Manectric, you can just use a G-Booster with Deoxys to do 210 HP. Kyogre, Groudon, you hit for weakness. I'm trying to think of anything else that's in the format right now that's like very obvious. And then Archie's Toys is probably your most interesting match, of course. Now you might be saying, okay, Squeaky, you saying it's a iffy matchup. Well, if the Blastoise player goes off and just constantly hits you for 170s over and over again, you lose because you need at least a turn or 2 to start powering up your Virizions and or Genesects. And what you have to do here is get really lucky on rebirth flips and energy switches to power up your Genesect to start one-shotting Keldeos. Then they're going to one-shot you, then you have to continue that cycle, and it's a very hard matchup, and that's probably the most interesting matchup for this deck. So I did get 2 games with the deck. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new about Spookysect or Virizion, Genesect, Ho-Oh, whatever you want to call it. Hope you have a great Thursday, and let's see this deck in action. Alright, so you're playing against CMG 123 ABC. Alright, kind of confused why the CMG is there, but tells. Alright, we get to go first here. I didn't see what kind of. Oh, that's 3 battle compressors. I didn't see what deck they're really playing here, but we got a Skyla, we got a Grass Energy, we got a Skyo Bridge. Now, depending on what we top deck here, I'll probably just Skyla for a Muscle Band, and the reasoning behind that is if my opponent plays Headbringers, that kind of messes up the Virizion for sure. So here with Skyla for a Muscle Band, put that down here, put a Grass Energy. I forgot to check something. Put down the Genesect just in case my opponent also plays Ho-Oh. They could knock out a Virizion turn 1 here. I forgot to check last turn to see if if Professor Letter is prized. Kind of a misplay by my part here. So we might have diversity for a Skyla to get just kind of hope and pray that we have a letter in there, and if we don't, we'll probably just Versic for an Ultra Ball to get the Shaman. Here we see a Battle Compressor, discarding a Water, Blastoise, and an Execute. Okay. There we see a Superior Energy. We'll get the 1 Water Energy. So we are playing against Archie Toys, which is going to be a heavily played deck at Regionals. So you don't expect it, something as you might be thinking a little bit wrong along your lines here, but I mean, it's a great deck. It did win Worlds for a reason, and it didn't really gain or lose anything for Expanded. I mean, it didn't lose anything. If anything, it gained stuff. And he does have the turn 1 Archies here, depending what's in his hand. There we see an egg. Another egg. So we're going to see double Ultra Ball here to grab a Jirachi. Going to put that down to get a Keldeo. So there's Jirachi coming down here, grabbing himself a Keldeo. We have ourselves a match for sure here. There's the Archie's Ace in the hole. The big question here, can he get a Keldeo with like 7 energies? I think that's what it needs. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, it needs 7 energies or 6 and a Muscle Band to actually knock out a Virizion, because we are resistant to water, which is a great thing for us here. So let's see what CMG has for us here. Now this deck did actually beat Archie Toys. I can't remember if it was top 8 or in the Swiss rounds at this current moment. But we'll see what happens, what CMG has here. Hasn't really played anything else after that, but I mean, there's endless possibilities in his hand here. He does have double eggs in the discard pile, which means he can, Ultra Ball at any moment to get a Shaman. Maybe discard 2 eggs. With the Acrobike, he doesn't get the in here, okay? Pretty useful. There we see 1 egg coming out, a Computer Search, discarding an egg, and a Blastoise. Maybe getting a Shaman, maybe getting a Battle Compressor, maybe, well, not Superior, because he only has 1 energy in the discard pile currently. And, let's see. I mean, if he has Shaman in the deck, that's what I would go for. But he's playing not me, so, I mean, it's up to CMG here for sure. And, let's see what he gets here. Just waiting around. Okay, there's a Tropical Beach here. And that's a cool little card we didn't really see at Worlds. Tropical Beach is an expanded card that lets you draw to 7 cards in your hand. Just in case you don't attack turn 1, there we see a Battle Compressor. Probably going to discard 3 Water Energies. That means that Keldeo will be up to 4. So the Battle Compressor here, he does discard 3 Water Energies. So now he's up to 4 in the discard pile. So Verse Seeker there. If he has his Superior, he'll be up to 5. There we see an egg. Do we see another egg coming down or not? Yep. There's a double egg here. Will he get a turn 1 knockout on the Virizion? There we see a Superior Energy Retrieval, discarding double egg here. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so this Keldeo will be up to 5 energies. The big question here, there's the attachment or not, just the luge. So actually just going to Sky Return here for 30. Okay, so there's energy there, okay. And yeah, we're just going to see a Sky Return here for 30. Another egg. Putting down. Oh, so he's just going to Sky Return to an egg here. All right, now. Okay, cool. We got the energy here. Well, Verse Seeker for the Skyla, and with the Skyla, we will get Battle Compressor. Let's look for the Battle Compressor. So we have Battle Compressor here, and there's a letter, so we're good with the letter if we needed this. With the letter, of course, we'll just discard Ho-Oh, Psychic, and Lightning. Okay, I'll put those in the discard pile, and here we will just Emerald Slash for 2 energies, putting them on the Genesect here. So taking a prize card for sure. There's a Thunder. It's not really that useful in this matchup here. Now, if he does attack with this Keldeo here, we can obviously knock it out with Genesect. All we need is 1 energy. There's the Shamer to come to X spot here. My opponent kind of missed the turn 1 Mega Cannon with the Keldeos, which is great for us, or not Mega Cannon. Missed the turn 1 Secret Sword for 170. If we got that, we'd pretty much lose. We'd have to, like, hope to hit Ho-Oh and hit multiple energy switches onto Genesect to take a knockout the following turn. They ever seen an end for my opponent? My voice is kind of dying. What's going on here? They ever see a Lugia coming down? That's an interesting new card that you can deluge onto. So maybe the Thunders might be kind of playable. I mean, it only does like 50, 60. You're going to do 120 really to this Lugia here. And we see this Keldeo is getting loaded up here. It's gotten 5 energies, which is enough for a knockout here if I did the math. 110, 130, 150. No, it's actually not. He needs 1 more energy unless I'm silly and I don't know math. Which is a very highly possibility. But there we see 6 energies on the Keldeo here. It will take a knockout on our poor little Virizion here. So 150 onto that guy. And here we're seeing the Genesect. We'll put down this Genesect, put down the Virizion. Attach a Plasma Energy to this guy. No Red Signal, no thank you. And here we'll just Megalo Cannon for 200. Trying to think where this 20 damage goes. 650. That doesn't really matter. If it made Keldeo down to 140, that can make a difference. I'll still put on the Keldeo here and take 2 prize cards. And I think Shaman's in the deck. I didn't really look for it. But next turn we have Ho-Oh. If we do need a Rebirth, we have a lot of options next turn for sure. Now we have Energy Switch. We have a Grass Energy. It's pretty easily. We might pull off a Ho-Oh play. There we see Lugia come to Axe Spot here. We'll need a G-Boost to actually knock out that thing. To do Aero Ball, it needs a lot to knock us out here. It needs 4 energies, and a Muscle Band could knock us out with Deep Hurricane. 80, then 70, which is 150, and then a Muscle Band 170, which knocks the Genesect here. So we see Muscle Band going down to the Keldeo here. I think that might be a little bit of a misplay here. He needs more energies on the Keldeo to actually knock us out, while he only needs 4 on this Lugia here to knock us out here. They receive the superior energy retrieval. So let me make sure we did the math. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, plus the 20 from the Muscle Band. He could have knocked us out with the Lugia here, but he decides he's going to attach it to the Keldeo here. We see Double Egg there. Ultra Ball, discarding the double eggs. There's an Articuno coming out. Not really worried about that at all. Superior Energy Retrieval, discarding 2 Articunos. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, he's going to load up this Keldeo here. Oh man, I don't know how great of a play that is. You know, like I said, if you put 4 energies as a Lugia here, he can take a knockout, but I mean, he's not doing that. He's loading up this Keldeo here. And if we get a Lysander or another, what is it? Okay, he might actually knock us out here. Okay, he needs 1 more energy, or maybe 150, maybe, no, yeah, that's enough right there. So yeah, he will take a knockout Keldeo here. Can we have a massive Rebirth player or not here is the big question. We'll have to hit a Ho-Oh heads, double energy switch, and we can knock out the Keldeo here. Oh man. Gonna go down to it for sure. Alright, so there's 170 on the Genesect here. Sorry about the hiccup. We'll send to the Genesect here. Alright, if only Keldeo had 140 HP, we could knock out this Virizion pretty easily here. So here we're Ultra Ball, discard Ultra Ball, and a Muscle Band. Here we're actually going to draw a Shaman and help our draw more cards here. But first, let's go for the Rebirth heads. We need this right here. Give me Rebirth heads. Yes, we got it. Alright, so Grass, Lightning, and... oh, there's a Grass. There's a Lightning. And there's a Psychic Energy. Okay, so that bad boy came down. Energy switch the Grass Energy up to the Genesect. Grass Energy here. Shaman for 6. We need another Energy switch, and we got one. So here we Energy switch up this up to here. Put down the Skyro Bridge. And now the only problem is, can he knock out this Ho-Oh with a Blastoise here? Let's see, how many Superiors has he played? 1, 2, 3. So he has 1 left. Okay. I wish we had it in our discard pile, but we don't. Here with Battle Compressor. Discard Ho-Oh. Thundurus and a Lightning Energy. Oh, if this deck played Jirachi, we can end him this turn. But sadly we don't. Okay, so we'll just have to go for that. Here we'll just Juniper. And we'll Battle Compressor. I'm basically just kind of like getting rid of my hand, so that way we can maybe like Lysin or whatever we need next turn. Discard Ultra Ball and discard the. Let's discard the Shadow Triad. Maybe we can Versigate for next turn. Hero Megalo Cannon for the knockout. Put 20 damage on Shaman. Sure. Take 2 prize cards and let's see what my opponent has here. If only we had an in, we could have ended him down to 2 here. Okay, so here we see Lugia come to Axe Spot here. Does he have a Muscle Band and a 4 energies? There's 1 energy. There's 2 energies. Come on, keep the party going here. Don't stop till the party ends. There's 3. There's 4. Show me Muscle Band. Come on. There's an egg. Is he going to Superior and load 8 energies up on this Lugia here? Oh my goodness. This Lugia is going to have 8, 9, 10, 11. It's going to do 220 damage to this Genesect here. If only we had the in, we could have knocked out this Lugia here. Oh my goodness. This is such a close game here. I'm trying to consider if I made any misplays or not. And there's 8 energy on the Lugia here. We just whiffed the end. That's all it is. There's Tropical Beach coming down. Sycamore, he is did 220 damage with Genesect there. Such a close game there. Hopefully, you saw the power of the Virizion Genesect deck, but even with that, you can see how close of a matchup it is to Archie's toys. Some people argue that Virizion Genesect can easily beat this deck because of the weakness here, but that is proven that's proven wrong there. But hopefully you enjoyed this match. It was a really close match. As long as if we had an in, maybe there's some kind of misplay I did where I could have got an in the discard pile. I was hopefully to hit one off the Shaman, but we didn't. But hopefully through this round, we'll see another game here with Virizion, Genesect, Ho-Oh, Thundurus, Deoxys, aka Spookysect, here in a second on Expanded Thursday. Alright, so you're putting this Patchy Fan 80 playing a Steel, Water, some deck. Tails, they get to go first here. And oh man, is this another Archie's Toys deck? We'll find out here in a second. We'll start Virizion, of course. We'll put the Genesect down on the field, and we'll see what our opponent is playing here. Alright, so there's a Keldeo. That doesn't tell us much, because any deck can pretty much play Keldeo here. I guess the big question here, does he play... is he playing Archie's Toys or not? And if he is, oh man, it's going to be another rough matchup for us here, for sure. We might be able to get off, oh, yep, there's an Ultra Ball discarding the Archies and the Water Energy, so it looks like we're playing against another Archie's Toys deck. There we see the Blastoise coming out. My opponent is using the other artwork Blastoise that we didn't see last game. I think that is the black and white kind. Alright, so there's a, yep, oh, no, the, Dragon Exalted? I think that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure. There we see a Suicune coming down, okay. There's a Rough Seas and Versigate for Archie's Toys. There we go. So back-to-back games, you can see Archie's Toys get out the Blastoise here. All right, so Patchy Fan 80 getting out the Blastoise turn 1 here, and that does happen a lot with the Archie's Toys deck. There's the Water Energy going down to Keldeo. Another Keldeo coming down. Acrobike here. Probably gonna search or just discard whatever. Discards the Juniper, is fine. Battle Compressor, gonna discard some Water Energies here for sure. Now, we have 2 options. We can either Emerald Slash with the Keldeo against the Keldeo, which I think is actually the better option to try to go for here. And then we can load up a Genesect, and there's another Keldeo coming down, and a pass. Now, my opponent kind of makes a misplay here, leaving the Keldeo in the active spot. Here with Professor Letter, we'll grab a double grass. Oh, we need to see if Shaman's in here. If Shaman's in here, then we should be okay. Hopefully I wasn't showing you all code cards. All right, so there's a Shaman there. Okay, so we do have a Shaman. We'll just grab the one grass energy. The reason why I was gonna put this one here. Ultra Ball, discard the grass and Shadow Triad. Here we'll get a Shaman, put down the Virizion, put down the Shaman here. Hopefully to hit a Battle Compressor, and we haven't hit one yet. Put a Muscle Band here. Ultra Ball, discard the Plasma Energy in the Virizion. Hero Grit. Probably just a no, we won't grab anything. That's fine. We probably should have grabbed a Thunder. So here, of course. Wow, we whiffed a Battle Compressor, Energy Switch. We whiffed everything. Wow. Alright, so we'll just end our turn here. And Virizion will probably get knocked out. Highly possibility. They receive Juniper, discarding his hand, drawing 7 cards. He needs, once again, 7 energies to knock out a Virizion, or 6 with the Muscle Band. Here we see a Trainer's Mail. Gonna look at the top 4 cards of his deck, and let's see what he decides to grab here. I mean, there is a multitude of options, and he does play Hex Maniac. Alright, that's an interesting deck for sure. They receive Superior Energy Retrieval, gonna get a 4 water energies. He does have 4 in there. So that's only 6. He needs 1 more to actually knock us out here. Does he have it or not? Probably so. I would not doubt it. So we see the Keldeo getting loaded up here. And there's 5. And there's 6. Does he have 1 more? Show me 1 more. Show me the money. 6 is not a knockout because we are resistant to water. Oh, buddy. There's the 7th one. Okay. So turn 2, 170 onto the Virizion. Okay, great. And here we'll send up the Genesect. And we're trying to go for a crazy knockout play this turn. Attach a Grass Energy here. Ultra Ball, discard Deoxys and a Grass Energy. Here we'll get a Ho-Oh. Alright. Put down the other Genesect. Juniper here. Alright. Man, we don't have another energy on the discard pile, so we're at the... What can we do here? Put down the Skyo Bridge, retreat into Virizion, and pass our turn. He will take a knockout here, but hopefully we can end him down to 2 cards, and he doesn't draw out of it. They receive Rough Seas coming down. 170 up to the Virizion here. We'll send up the Genesect here, and hopefully we can end up down to 2 cards so he doesn't have anything. First things first, let's Battle Compressor. Let's discard another Ho-Oh and 2 energy cards. Probably a Psychic and a Lightning if we have both of those. There they are. Okay. So discard those 2. Here we'll use abilities. Rebirth number 1. Give me heads! Oh no. Rebirth number 2. Please give me heads. There we go. Woo! Woo! Alright, so there's a Lightning. There's a Psychic. And a Grass Energy. Okay. And here we'll Energy Switch the Grass Energy up to the Genesect. Energy Switch a Lightning Energy up to the Genesect. And here we'll end them down to 2 cards. Put down the Thunder, so it doesn't really matter. So in here, Muscle Band here. Muscle Band onto... why did I Muscle Band the Genesect? We probably shouldn't have done that. Muscle Band onto the Thunders here. And here we will... Battle Compressor, discard some stuff we don't need. We don't need Skylub, we don't need Ultra Ball, and we don't need Battle Compressor. Alright, do we have a Virizion in the discard pile? I mean, Lysander? Alright, no. So here, Battle Compressor, discard Lysander, Thunderous, and a Lightning Energy. And here on Mega Cannon, this Genesect will have to go all the way for sure. Put 20 damage onto this Blastoise here. Take 2 prize cards. And what we can do next turn is Lysander this Blastoise, take a knockout on it, and hopefully my opponent can't retaliate from that. He has only played 1 Superior Energy Retrieval, so we're in... there's a Keldeo. Oh no, this could be big trouble for us right now. There's a Water Energy Verse Seeker. If he has a Lysander... Okay, he doesn't have a Lysander yet. There's a Juniper coming down. And he would need 5 water energy, 5 water energies. There's 2. Does he have a superior? There's a floatstone. Okay, don't really care about that. A retreats to Suicune. And will we just see a pass here? That'd be amazing. Alright, so Rough Seas healed the 20 damage off the Blastoise here. And there's a Battle Compressor, going to discard some stuff out of his deck. Okay. Now, if we can license this Blastoise and take a knockout, I think that's the best option here. Just kind of get that out of play. 1, 2, 3. He's played 3 Verse Seeker so far. Alright, I think that's our best play here. So knock out the Blastoise for sure. Alright, so pass my opponent here. Okay, what do we get? An energy switch is not what we need. That's blah. Okay. Alright. Hopefully the other let's think here. We know he doesn't have a superior in hand right now. So your energy switch, move the psychic energy over to Genesect, put down this Genesect Course here. Hopefully to hit a plasma energy, and we do. So your plasma energy, it doesn't really matter. If he takes a knockout, we lose. Bring up the Blastoise here, and here we will use a Megalo Cannon, knocking out the Blastoise here, and the 20 damage doesn't matter because of Rough Seas. Alright. Oh, we pushed it. I should put it on Skyward Bridge. Whatever. It's water under the bridge. I already messed up. Get it, water under the bridge there. Alright, but, I mean, oh man, this is going to be a... there's a Juniper, so no... he doesn't have a, no Blastoise. They receive Battle Compressor. Trying to thin his deck out some, for sure. The big question here, can he get another Blastoise? He's played... Oh wait, 1, 2, 3. He's played all 4 Verse Seekers now. 1 Archie's. 2 Archies. So I don't think there's another way he can get a Blastoise out here. And we should be able to win this game here. Oh man. And in victory screen there, he realizes there's no way he can get another Archies out. We had a Verse Seeker for the Lysander, bring up the Keldeo, or Plasma Energy, whichever one you want to do it. I probably would have, I mean, it doesn't matter if he would have knocked out Genesect, we would have lost there. So there you go, taking a win against this kind of Archie Stories deck. So 2 Archie Stories in a row. I mean, online, there is a lot of Archie's deck. Which, it is a great deck. It didn't win the World Championship there. But you can see, you can win again. I mean, my opponent, Game 1, he had everything he needed. Game 2, we played against a different Archie's deck. He didn't hit everything we needed, and we won that one. But hope you enjoyed these videos. Thanks for watching. I know they're back-to-back Virizion, Genesect. I mean, not Virizion, Genesect. Back-to-back Archie's Stories deck. But, I mean... Against everything else, you have really good matchups, except Vespiquen, which you ought to lose. I mean, against Seismitoad, you have Virizion, Genesect. Night March is probably not... Okay, like, this deck has a lot of bad matchups, don't get me wrong. It loses to Night March, and it loses to Vespiquen here. I really don't think this deck is a great play for regionals at all. I definitely do think you need Archeops. If you have Archeops in here, I think it's a better play for sure. Because that way you can actually have a chance against the Night March players. Or not Night March, against Night March you just lose. But at least you have a shot against a Flareon Vespiquen decks. But besides that, it's a bad... I love VG, don't get me wrong. I love Virizion and Genesect, but I don't think it's a great play at all for regionals. I think he just got really lucky and hit the great matchups, which, I mean, that's all you have to do, really. If you hit the great matchups, you can win regionals for sure. But you can see here, even against Archie's Stories, which a lot of people are like, it's a win, it's an auto win, because you have multiple ways to power up Genesect. You hit for weakness, blah, blah, blah. It's not that great of a matchup. It's still pretty hard. My opponent whiffed pretty hard that game, and we won. But hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I hope you have a great Thursday. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, bye.